It is a great satisfaction to greet you again. I hope you and your pet are well. Today we will talk about the following. My dog has a cut. Do you require emergency care? Due to the curious nature of dogs, it is not surprising that they end up with minor scratches or cuts. Knowing how to clean and treat skin wounds and being able to recognize when veterinary care is necessary can be of great help. 1. When to take your dog to the vet. Even if it's just a minor cut, you should treat it right away to avoid infection. Waiting too long increases the risk of infection and may require antibiotics. When caring for your dog's wound, be sure to take proper precautions, as your pet may be aggressive if he is in pain or frightened. It is a good idea to have an assistant to help you. A muzzle can also be useful. Some types of injuries require immediate veterinary attention and should not be treated at home. If your dog has any of the following injuries, you should call your veterinarian for advice. A deep laceration or bite wound in which the skin has been completely pierced. Wounds involving sensitive or large parts of the body. A wound that is inflamed and pus is visible. A wound that bleeds profusely or does not stop bleeding after 10 minutes. Burns. When there is an object, such as broken glass, in the wound. If a minor cut or scrape does not heal quickly or appears to be infected. If a dog's leg or joint appears bruised and swollen. 2. Dog wound care supplies. Pet owners should have wound care supplies on hand. A pet emergency kit should include the following. Antiseptic solution. Water-based lubricant. Electric clippers, scissors, or disposable shavers. Clean paper or cloth towels. Astringent powder. Electronic collar or protective jumpsuit to prevent your dog from reaching the wound. 3. First aid for bleeding wounds. Blood loss can increase your pet's risk of shock or even death. If your pet's wound bleeds a lot, look for where the blood is coming from and apply a temporary bandage or clean cloth to apply pressure and limit the bleeding. If there is a piece of glass or object embedded in the wound, do not try to remove it. You can rinse dirt from the wound, but be careful not to inflict unnecessary pain. Next, contact your veterinarian for advice on what to do and if an emergency appointment is necessary. Avoid removing the bandage to see if the bleeding has stopped. This can disrupt any clots, which can cause bleeding to start again. 4. How to treat cuts and wounds. Minor cuts and scrapes to the skin. Minor cuts and scrapes should be clean and dry. These wounds usually heal within a few days. If there is dirt in the wound, dilute a non-stinging antiseptic in warm water and use it to clean the wound. Then, clean the injury with a clean cloth or towel. Avoid using cotton as the threads tend to stick to the wound. Make sure your pet does not lick the wound until it is completely healed. If the bandages give off an unpleasant odor or the wound looks worse, becomes more painful, or there is a change in your pet's health and/or temperament, you should seek veterinary care. Large cuts in the skin. A large or deep wound requires immediate veterinary attention. These wounds can be very painful and prone to infection. The lesion should be cleaned before applying topical treatment. Depending on the extent of the injury, staples, stitches, or even surgery may be necessary. Pain relievers may also be prescribed. Bite wounds. Animal bites tend to be more serious than they really seem. They can also easily become infected due to bacteria in the animal's mouth. If your pet has been bitten by a dog or other animal, always take him to the vet, even if the wound is small and does not seem serious. You may need antibiotics, pain relievers, and possibly surgery. Puncture wounds. From small objects, such as splinters and grass edges, to glass and metal, animal bites and gunshot wounds. These wounds have a very high risk of becoming infected. Often the skin looks fine from the outside, but more serious problems could develop under the skin. When there is heavy bleeding or an object has penetrated any part of the dog's body, use a bandage to cover the wound. A bandage can also be used for a chest wound. Whether or not your dog's wound is treated at home or at the veterinary clinic, he may need a protective collar to prevent him from licking or chewing on an open wound and causing further damage. It is a pleasure to inform you and help you. If you have not subscribed to the channel, you should do it now. Take care of yourself and your furry friend. A hug, and until the next video.